It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I mean, I don't see how Timo Werner is starting the Euros next year if he continues to play the way he's playing at Leipzig at the moment. So for those reasons alone, that formation might not work. I think also Flick will have a problem, if you call it that. He has to fit in Havertz, Wirtz, and Musiala. And that's not going to be so easy when you play two strikers, I think. Because you still want some width. You want maybe a Gnabry or a Sané. So I just don't think that this German national team necessarily has the strength up front to play two strikers in the long run.
Before we leave the German national team, you mentioned Timo Werner, and he was substituted after 45 minutes, and he looked poor. Yes, probably yes. He looked poor, and he's coming back from an injury. Yes, but also with Leipzig, he was not playing very well. Is this step back, if you call it like this, from Chelsea to Leipzig, was this heading towards the right direction? Was it a mistake? Is it too early to make a judgment? What's the story with Timo Werner? Because it's it's so interesting because I think he is the most controversial player in the German national team, because a lot of football fans simply don't like him for the way he's playing. And do you have an idea why it is like this? Because he's giving away too many goal chances, or maybe it's now the chance to introduce another term for Fußballdeutsch, a word that is widely used when it's talked about players and team. It's Körpersprache, and I think the exact translation also works in English. But let's talk about Timo Werner and Körpersprache and his perception.
Yeah. Körpersprache is, of course, body language, and it is a problem for Timo, but I think the bigger problem is a lack of confidence. It started at Chelsea, and I think the step back to Leipzig was seen as a way to regain that confidence, because his best season had come at Leipzig under Julian Nagelsmann, but it so far hasn't happened. I was told that even at his best time at Leipzig, there was a lot of talking involved, a lot of trying to get his confidence up. So he seems to be one of those players who needs a lot of input and a lot of love and a lot of trust. And maybe that's just still not happening for him at the moment. Flick tries. I think Flick has been one of his biggest fans, one of his biggest supporters. But that's what I'm saying. If you think now that you have the first game of the Euros against, let's say, the Netherlands or Spain, and it could be a tough group, then would you start Timo Werner on today's evidence? No, you wouldn't. So let's see how long that faith can last. Flick was, just to finish the subject and maybe to find a nice segue into another subject, Flick was a big fan of Werner and wanted to sign him at Bayern as well, ahead of Leroy Sané. But the club said, no, we don't believe in Werner. We believe more in Leroy Sané.